Archbold Blue Streaks. Liberty Center comes in at 7-2 overall with 6-2 in the NWOAL. Or excuse me, 5-2 in the NWOAL. Jimmy, playoff, we're not going to win first place. That's going to be decided between Wauseon and Patrick Henry tonight, but a lot on the line here as far as the computers. All right, we'll get to all that in a minute. End over end kick comes down at the 14-yard line, returns straight ahead, sifting his way, and a little bit too much. You kind of want to hold him inside the 30, but the Streaks push that wedge straight up the middle, and they get it out to about the 33, where they'll take over opening possession of the football game.
Yeah, 81, Peter Perchlick kind of drug him down. He was blocked, but Perchlick sees the return man and was able to drag him down. Yeah, Spike, this is a game that you might as well call a playoff game because the team that wins, that is successful, moves on to postseason play.
Yep. Tigers in 6th place, Archbold in 11th, but either way, a win for either team will definitely put them in. All right, Gorig, the quarterback, out of shotgun, fires out here, caught at the 37, and that's going to be very close. Yeah. To a 10-yard gain and an Archbold first down.
Yeah, Damian Mays and Jordan Perdue on the stop. Boy, we are going to see plenty of passes. This Archbold team just loves to put the football up, Spike. We were talking before the game here that they've been working on this program for at least 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah, when we saw it 2 years ago here at Archbold, it was quite a surprise, and they've only fine-tuned it. Goring, the quarterback, Goring, I should say, number 12. Now he'll line up under center, 2nd down and 1. He'll give to the right side, and nothing doing there, and he stopped short. Who knifed in there, Jimmy?
I believe Big Quigley there got first contact, yep. 88 there, and then some other help from his friends. And, you know, thinking about the Tigers as they look toward this game and a little bit about last week, they played 2 quarters of not too good a football last week. I mean, you know, you're going to play a whole season. You're going to have that little bit. But, boy, they got to shrug that off and take these streaks on with confidence.
All right, loss of half a yard to bring up 3rd down and 1 from the 42 of Archbold. Man in motion, and he's going to go straight ahead, Goring, and he'll probably have enough. Goring's ankles are a question tonight, but he's in there now, and that means that he's good enough to go. Yep. And that good for the first down. Goring actually is Archbold's leading rusher, as they'll constantly line up 4 wide receivers, occasionally an empty backfield like we're going to see right now, 3 to the far side and a double over here. And so Goring averaging 4.8 yards a carry. Drops back out of shotgun, looks to the right, now waits, slowed down, looks for running room. Tigers come up, and they meet him there at the 45-yard line. Gain of a couple, but the Tiger defense closed quickly.
Yes, they did, Spike. And, you know, the coaching earlier in the week was talking about having 3 down linemen providing pressure on Gene Goring. And, boy, you just wonder if that's going to occur. Of course, you know they would pull a blitzing backer on occasion to get up in there. But Gene Goring sending out 5 receivers pretty regular.
Yep. Once in a while they'll keep a protector, but not so often. All right, 2nd down and a short 8 yards to go. Goring out of shotgun, looks downfield, now throws short, and that's caught immediately right at the line of scrimmage, but goes to his knees. That
yeah, Brandon Neff, number 74, yep. On a great rush there. Blocker was on him, but Neff, so intent on putting some pressure on Gene Goring, was able to drive that blocker right back there. Might have had a little bit of effect, but anyway, 3rd down and 7 yards here.
Let's see, yeah, 3rd down and 7. 8 opening drive of the game, 8:52 left in the first quarter. So trip receivers to this side. Gehrig straight drop, looks upfield. They got a man on a slant route, caught, and that's a first down for Archbold.
Yeah, Damian Mays on the stop there, number 7, but he certainly was open, and Gene Goring quite accurate in his pass there, that slant.
Caught by David Rupp, number 4. So that'll be another first down for the Blue Streaks. They've got the ball now on Liberty Center's 45-yard line. Now trip receivers to the far side. Tigers going in man defense out here as they match up with man defense with the secondary. Goring, little delay, straight ahead, a lot of running room, and he's going to spin and pick up about 8 yards on the play. That was designed all the way, Jimmy, no hesitation. He simply took the snap and
I didn't see who made the stop there, Spike, but that was interesting. He had 5 receivers out, and as you say, he took that ball and there was no hesitation. Up he goes with it. Tigers had 8 men back off the line of scrimmage, and they were so intent on covering, they didn't react quite quick enough. And so how about a 8-yard pickup there by the quarterback?
Well, and that makes it tough on the Tiger defense, of course, to be in second and short. Now they're going to give it to that little end around, and that'll be good for a first down inside the 35, down to about the 34.
Chad Hefflinger for Damian Mays. I thought it was Hefflinger, but it was Damian Mays on the stop there. But once again, a fresh set of downs here for the Streaks. So an initial possession there, they're using some clock and moving the ball.
Yeah, and and they spread you out so much, and then they'll come back with that little reverse action, and it makes it dangerous. And then with Goring, if he's healthy tonight, it will definitely make it put a lot of pressure on Liberty's defense. Well, they get a pass rush, they throw upfield.
Oh, Spike,
boy.
Now from our vantage point, there was contact there, and the contact was initiated by the Tiger defender, but it was, I thought, an attempt to make a play on the ball. But that wasn't the way they saw the flags, obviously. So
No, you're not going to get away with that one. And it was almost like the referee.
Oh, he couldn't wait to throw that flag.
Wait. It was like that's his mission in life.
Yeah.
Wow, a 15-yard walk-off.
Nobody's denying that there was a collision there, but was it an honest collision? Tiger fans would think so, but anyway, boy, that's going to set the Streaks up quite well. With this high-powered offense the Tigers are facing here, the Blue Streaks are going to get their yards, and they're probably even going to get some scores, but the Tigers have got to contain and then get ready to put some offense up themselves.
All right, man in motion. The quarterback, Goring, is going to go behind that motion, cut up inside. It'll be a gain of a couple on the play.
Yeah, that Alan Sharp there fought a block off and saw that quarterback coming and was able to get him stuffed there with just a scant yard gain.
So we'll call it a long yard. So Archbold faced now with a 2nd down and 9. The ball at the Liberty Center, we'll call it the 17-yard line.
Oh, they just keep spreading those receivers out there, Spike. And, the guys have got to kind of feel it out and see how they can cover.
All right, Gehrig takes a snap, 2-step drop, fires that slant over the middle, hit right away by Damian Mays, and they'll haul him down at about the 11, but about an 8-yard gain. And right now, Archbold is finding a way in every little set of 4 downs. They're finding a way to get that long, that 7 or 8 yard gain, and it puts Liberty now again 3rd and 1 in a defensive hole.
Yep.
So the ball just outside the 10-yard line. Gehrig is going to keep it, and he'll have more than enough for a first down. So Archbold now with a 1st and goal at Liberty Center's 5:45 remaining here in the first quarter.
Boy, Spike, Gene Gehrig being a master at directing this Streak offense. He just seems to take whatever looks like from the defensive standpoint is there.
Yep. All right, now with 1st and goal, we'll see if that tightens up the field any to go against Archbold here if in this red zone, short red zone. Out of shotgun, now the give straight ahead. Into the end zone goes Gehrig. They fake that reverse, and Gehrig simply bores his way up inside, and that's good for a score.
Oh, yeah, Spike, Tigers have got to find an answer for that spread offense. They're just watching those receivers so that that's where they're checking off, and again they come back to see, well, the quarterback's keeping it. He's running, he's not passing it. All of a sudden, he's got a head of steam up in a little room.
Yeah, well, and it does come down to the fact the defensive line has to plug things up enough that it's going to kick Gehrig outside. And it's just a tremendous weapon for the Blue Streaks. Now, set, point after touchdown, kick up and good.
Yeah.
So at the 5:18 mark of the first period, Archbold leads 7-0.
Yeah, that was a well construed opening drive there. The possession right from the kickoff there for the Streaks. But I believe the Tigers learned a lot as that was happening, Spike, and then they've got to kind of come up with a bit of a plan and perhaps play those receivers a little more reckless-like. In other words, they got a interference penalty against them, but nevertheless, they got to, when that ball's coming, make the effort for it. Now, for part of the season, that's the way the Tigers were playing, and they were making their share of picks, and breaking up a lot of passes, but.
Now, this is an entirely different offense, than what you normally see. You may see the spread stuff, but this is high-tuned and fast-paced. Let's look at Archbold's record. They come in at 6-3, but their losses, Patrick Henry, Fairview, and Wauseon, and Wauseon still vying for a piece of the league championship, and of course Fairview and Archbold, or Fairview and PH, are up there in the standings. Short kick, that taken by Perchlik at the 24. He returns it straight ahead and gets up to about the 35-yard line. So the Tigers are setting themselves up in a decent position on the field.
Oh, a good field position for their opening drive, and we'll hope the Tigers can keep their miscues to a minimum. Last week they had a couple of chances for scores right there in the first half that could have put them up out of reach for Delta, but turnovers at an inopportune time.
All right, so the Tigers now with the ball for their first possession of the game. They're going to show a wing set to the right with Irving spread out wide to this side. It's Brown dropping back to throw, launches it out there, and kind of out there in no man's land beyond Perchlik, who did a delay and then kind of floated out there in the deep flats. Archbold's record this year, they lost to Fairview early in the year, but they had a 3-touchdown lead at one point. They led in the fourth quarter, and a 60-yard interception return for a touchdown helped turn the tide there for Fairview. So there's one game, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yep.
And then against Wauseon, Gehrig came up hurt last week, and that certainly hurt them. All right, give to the Tigers, second back through. And Perchlik picks up maybe a yard or two on the play, up to the 37. But the Tigers now faced with a 3rd and 8, 4:52 first quarter. Archbold leads 7-0.
Spike, thinking of that first pass attempt by the Tigers, Patrick Brown laid that ball up there in about the only area he could. The Streaks had pretty good coverage on Perchlik, and if Perchlik would have taken another step to the outside rather than pursue his same route, that would have been a completion.
All right, single setback. Now they give it to that Reed. Reed spins, tries to find yardage, maybe gets a yard, but Liberty Center is held. And that'll bring 4th down and 8. And those Tigers are in a likely punting position now from that 38-yard line. But you got to believe last week if Gorig is healthy that they probably beat Wauseon. So a very good football team. High spiraling kick taken back there at the 28, hit right away, I believe,
McClory.
Chad McClory down there to cover, and about maybe a yard or two return.
Brandon Neff also got on that, number 74, and Hefflinger, number 3, also in on that. So a good punt. Tigers did what they could with a quick 3 and out there, Spike, to pin the Archbold Streaks back as far as they could. We'll see whether the defense can stand up to that passing game here a little bit now.
32-yard punt, no return. It got great hang time. Well, maybe a yard return, excuse me, but a good job there by Jacob Howard. So Archbold's second possession. They throw it short out there, and he's got a lot of running room. Oh, my. Irving out there, and that's going to be the Tigers' last hope. He finally hauls down.
Who was that runner? Number 9, was it?
Yeah, that was Fiddler.
Fiddler, yeah, wow. Jacob Fiddler caught that pass in full stride over there on the Tigers' left flat. And just comes running, but they're bringing it back, Spike.
Uh-oh. Boy, big break there for Liberty Center. I don't have any idea what it is. Hopefully it was a hold, but from that spot, that far outside.
Maybe a block in the back or something, but boy, that... what's that? Illegal block.
A 30-yard gain wiped out. Well, maybe that's what the Tigers need, a big break here. So that's going to make it from the spot of the foul. That'll make it first down and 23 from the 17-yard line. So Archbold needs to get to the their own 40 for a first down. Trip receivers to this side. Duo to the far side. He'll throw that high slant. Caught. And they get the 13 yards back right away that they lost on the penalty. So it'll be second down and 10 yards to go.
Yep, couple Tigers. Andy Spees. Who's the other guy back here?
Yeah, we'll call it a 14-yard gain. You know what?
I believe Irving, Spees and Irving on the stop there.
Those slant routes are very, very difficult to defend in high school football.
Exactly, and then if there's been enough pitch and catch between the quarterback and the receiver, Spike, they do that in their sleep practically.
All right, second down and 9. The Tigers have 9 men up there in the box. Well, actually 8 guys, excuse me, in the box, if you will.
Timeout called by the Blue Jays. Timeout Archbold.
Well, with 2:54, we've got a timeout down on the field. Archbold with a big penalty, wiping out a 30-yard gain, and they come right back with a 14-yard reception. They call a timeout. So with that in mind, we'll get right to our sponsors here. We've got the porch coaches with Rick Miller, Jesse Miller, Dave Moeller, Scott Slee, Todd Moeller, Chris Zacharias, Danny Brown, Mike Mann, Bob Shaddy, Jeff Huff, Jeff Spangler, Dave Silvas, Terry Bowers, Tim Bowers, and Louis Miller. Also, we've got Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry. Railside Meat Market with Bob Miller. They feature meat, cheese, and many assorted sundries. And I'm telling you, the biggest selection of meat and cheese, and for a great price. The best prices in Henry County. I know that for a personal fact. All right, we've also got Danny Hefflinger representing a Maritime Realty with 39 years of service in the Liberty area. The Tiger Shop with Bob Shaddy, who can supply just about anything in the way of Tiger or any county team as far as wearing apparel. The Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler. Todd, one of the assistant coaches. And KK Collision with Kyle Kearns, wrecker work, paint job, entire complete truck and automotive service. All right, back to action. Archbold, 2nd and 8 at their own 31. Out of shotgun. Looks, fires underneath. That's caught. And the Tigers there with Chad McClory.
Yep.
A few yards after the catch.
Also, Damian Mays right there close, and so good coverage there by the Tigers.
You know, with the exception of the play that was wiped out on the penalty, the Tigers have done well so far in giving up yards after the catch. But at the same time, right now, Gehrig is in top form with finding open
Spike,
receivers.
I think the Tigers are trying to gauge those receivers' speed. You know, you hate to get burned right out of the box here, so they're trying to see just what kind of speed and moves these receivers have.
Again, out of shotgun. Fires well over the middle. Oh, my.
Yeah, Perchlick and Damian Mays had a little bit of a shot there at that ball.
Dunning got a hand on it, but couldn't haul it in. A little bit too long, a little bit too far. And fortunately for Liberty Center, that one incomplete, and that brings up 4th down from Archbold's own 34-yard line.
Yeah, well, a good defensive stand there, albeit with the help from the blue stripe or the stripes on that one long penalty there.
Okay, Damian Mays back, number 7. Damian Mays back at his 35.
Oh, bad snap, Spike.
That's rolling around.
Oh, Chad missed. Oh,
they get it off somehow, and it's going to be a very short punt. It's going to take an Archbold bounce. Uh-oh, we've got a flag on the play, and that'll go probably against Liberty Center.
Oh, whoa. See, they almost tackled him because he tucked the ball down. Chad McClory, first man through, and when he couldn't kick it because he had to pick up the grounder, Chad tried to tackle him, just missed him, and then he scrambled for the ball and was able to get a handle on it and made a kick and then got clobbered.
Oh,
so what is
a
the call
bad
on
break.
something like that, Spike?
Well, we saw this a few years ago at Mineral Ridge.
If he gets into a kicking motion, then he's not fair game. Is that correct? Because I don't understand that.
Apparently. No, wait a minute. Now we're going to wait until they get this thing sorted out. But first appearance would mean that it's probably going to be the big one, the 15-yard penalty on Liberty Center.
Wow. But Chad McClory,
it must be that you have to block the punt, or it is a penalty. And
wow.
boy, that hurts.
But it was a fumbled, a bobbled, miserable snap, and Chad McClory tried to tackle him.
Right, but I know it. You want to argue it, but and I don't like the call, but we did see this same thing. In fact, that was the night that Tom Fry filled in when you were picking corn.
All right.
That was at Mineral Ridge, and we
saw this.
We saw about the same thing. The bad snap. He picked it up. He ran hard to his right, and he on the run got kind of a shank punt off.
Huh.
He was hit, and they still called it.
Yeah. Well, I know all the rules are made to protect the players, and even with a bobbled snap, and it appeared as though he was going to run it, if he gets into a kicking motion, then they've got to kind of protect him so he doesn't get killed, evidently.
Well, and that's how you stop Archbold. They're just not always going to hit on all 8 cylinders with that passing game. You put them in a spot where they maybe they go long, or we see just what they did there.
Yeah.
And then when you get the break, you get them on 4 downs.
Well, I think the Tigers will gain a little confidence as this game wears on a little bit when they feel like they can maybe make a play on the ball and or the receiver. But because of all the statistics and all the yards this offense has compiled, you have to respect these wideouts.
Oh, yeah,
You look at them and you think, well, you guys have caught more passes. Well, there's the official word. Anyway, it sets them up on the 50-yard line, Spike.
Oh, man. Well, Liberty will have to find a way to overcome that. Gehrig alone, out of shotgun, takes a 4-step drop back to the 40, looks upfield, he throws the home run ball, and it would have been probably out of bounds down there around the 16-yard line, pass right down the sideline.
Yeah, Damian Mays and number 5, Patrick Brown back there to defend, and they had as good a chance at that ball as the receiver did. And I think the Tigers will continue to tighten up a little bit on those guys and make a pick there. But I like the pressure. They got a little pressure on Mr. Gehrig back here, and he wasn't just the most comfortable as he was making that throw.
Yeah, I imagine he's in a little pain. So a gutsy effort so far from Gehrig. All right, that'll make it 2nd and 10 right at midfield. Minute 50 to go. Quick slant over the middle, and he's wide open. Oh, my. Finally hauled down, I think, by Spies.
Yeah.
All the way down around the 30-yard line. That's going to be another first down,
Yeah.
a gain of 21 yards.
Spike, certainly a big play offense, this Streaks. You contain them a little bit, and all of a sudden there they've got their play. And when they get that open and a quarterback with some accuracy, that sure moves the ball.
Well, in a game like this, you certainly don't want to get down by 2 scores. So the Tigers are going to have to come up with a big one here. 1st and 10 at the Tiger 30. Minute 25 left, first period. Now motion comes toward the quarterback. They fake it. Gehrig takes it right up the middle and certainly doesn't look hurt to me. And he gets down close to the 20-yard line, gain of about 8.
Jacob Perchlik on the stop, but Gehrig not showing any signs of a lame ankle there, Spike. When he decides to turn it upfield, he covers ground quickly.
Yeah.
Whale of an athlete, that Gehrig. He plays basketball and leads this Blue Streak football team and has for many a season here. A senior, so this will be it for him.
Okay, trip receivers to this side, 2 wide outs to the far side. All alone in the backfield once again, Gehrig. He throws to the far sideline and breaks a tackle down there, and ouch. Irving delivers a blow, finally shoots him out of there down around the 5-yard line, but that's going to be a gain of 15 more yards.
Yeah, they had 2 receivers standing there, Spike, and the one takes off running and draws the coverage, and the other one is just standing there yet, and here comes the ball. And, of course, they know that play. That, of course, is a called play, and that ball is actually in the air before you know it, and there's their completion. That's just a nice-looking pass right there.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to make that tackle. You're out there in single coverage. Tigers show 4 defenders out here against these 3 receivers. They throw to the short side, and that's hit right away by Spees and blasted out of bounds.
Yeah, and a flag comes out up here by the line of scrimmage. He's pointing toward the streaks there.
The gain of a couple on the play, but this may be coming back.
That's going to be a hold on the blue streak, Spike.
Now, you're looking at this, probably a 10-yard walk-off, but boy, with this high-powered offense.
Yeah, I just...
hopefully you just get them shoved back enough that...
well, and we've got to sense that ball coming in the right spot and jump one of those passes, because it can come back the other way with a nice green field ahead.
Yeah.
Ahead of them, just...
All right, second and goal from the 20-yard line. 3 receivers to this wide side here. Gehrig looks, fires over the middle, and that's caught. Oh my, they get it all back and a little bit more down inside the 10 to about the 7.
Yeah.
Downey, the receiver.
Jacob Perchlik on a tackle, and a nice tackle, but that just got those yards all gobbled right up. And on the
okay, I believe that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And Archbold leading 7-0. They've had 1 possession, drove it down for a score. Liberty Center on their possession went 3 and out, and now Archbold back in business, knocking on the door. So the score at 1 period of play, it's Archbold 7, Liberty Center 0. And we'll get to some more of our sponsors here. We've got Lil and Ron Bruns with Rainbow Stitches. The Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, 6 locations throughout Henry County. Swanton Welding with the Zeider family. The Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini. You can also call Steve for any interior paint work this winter. We've got Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy and Patty Hill. Trucker's Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke, featuring full meals, open every day from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it was Jerry who supplied
pie last week.
Yes, pie last week. We've got the Huntington Bank in Liberty Center, Speece Trailer Court with Rick Speece, Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly, B.A. Miller and Sons Trucking with Norma Miller and family, L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown, Davis Farm Services in Delta and Liberty Center with Karen Howe, Pisanello's Pizza, home of the slice of pizza to go for a buck, with Craig and Sherry Myers. Their buffet hours every day from 11 to 2 and 4 to 8. Also, we've got Miller Brother Trucking with Skip Miller, Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell, Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn Badenhop in the Napoleon office, Bob and Marge Jurassics in the Liberty Center office. Okay, getting set to go here for the second period. Streaks have it, second goal at the 7-yard line. They already lead 7-0. Man in motion. They're going to fake it. Gehrig heading up the middle. Gets to about the 5, and he's stopped.
McClory.
Chad McClory, the nose guard in this Tiger 3-man front.
Yeah, Spike, I was thinking there during the break that somehow or other they're as comfortable as Gehrig is and picking apart the Tiger secondary at this point. They got to find a way to get pressure on him.
Yeah.
And I know they still have to cover the receivers, but somehow or other they have to disguise where a blitz is coming from and somehow bother him back there.
All right, third and goal now from the 7. High snap. Gehrig fields it. Looks for running room. Tigers have him strung out, but Gehrig heading for the end zone, and he's in for the score.
Yeah.
Ouch. Wow.
That particular play, they had Sexton, number 2, coming around from his coverage spot on blitz at the quarterback, but he had a long ways to go, and Gehring is just a good runner there.
Well,
he didn't have that many yards to cover.
He's adept at finding that seam.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a quarterback with a great arm and a running back's mentality and body, if you will.
Yep.
So 11-18, Archbold goes up by 2 scores. Snap good, hold good, kick up, and that splits the uprights. 14-0. And Liberty Center not in dire straits yet, but they need some offense. They need to generate some flow of their own here to try to get back into this.
Yeah, the offense needs to work those yard markers a few times and move the sticks and kind of get comfortable in what they do. And give the defense kind of time to develop a plan and maybe catch their breath a little bit.
All right. Also, we want to mention Ken and Robin Carpenter, special Tiger sponsors, and John Slagle. And John, with the memory of good old Donnie Sharp and those stinking rotten, no good yellow flags.
Spike, it seems kind of dark out there on the 15-yard line on each end, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get that impression. All right. Low line drive kick. That's taken there at the 15-yard line by Damian Mays. Damian Mays kicks it to the outside, finds a little extra seam, another gear, and gets it up to the 35-yard line. So the Tigers again with field position at the 35.
Yeah, Damian Mays is sure given every Tiger fan some thrills and chills over the course of the season on his return, Spike. And he ran up to where there was quite a pile and just looked as though that ought to kind of stop him. But he says, no, I think I'm going to bounce out this way, and got a few more yards.
All right, now the Tigers need to get something going. They've got the wingback package to the left, give straight ahead to Reed. Reed will pick up maybe a yard on the play, but so far, Tigers, well, they haven't really had the opportunity to generate much offense. They've only had it now with their 4th offensive play, not counting the punt.
Yeah, they've got to set something up here where they can move those sticks.
All right, we've got McClory spread out wide over here. We've got Irving over there. We're going to run a pitch. Reed looks for running room, tries to cut it back when they've got the deep angle cut off, and Reed finds no room at all. Back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain, 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, the Blue Streak defense had a lot of flow coming this way, and there just was no place for him to cut that one back. If he would have totally reversed his field, he might have done better, Spike, but wasn't designed to do that, so he wasn't time to make that work.
All right, now a long yardage situation for the Tigers. Wide out to either side. Brown straight drop. Has time. Throws out there for Irving. Irving curls around and catches it at the midfield stripe.
Yes, sir. Danny Irving, excellent play out there on the guy covering him, and Patrick Brown drilled right in there, Spike. So
yep, excellent toss.
Something for the Tigers to cheer about there, and they've got a fresh set of downs. Going to get that in the streak side of the field here, too.
Yep, ball, the nose of the ball resting right on the 50, a 13-yard pass and catch from Brown to Irving. 9:40 to go, 2nd period. Brown, quick drop, throws the long fade, and that's going to go a little long and incomplete. He had Irving streaking along the far sideline.
Yeah, that was a nice pass in the sense that he lofted her up there, and if Danny could have found a little more of an overdrive gear, he could have got there, but at least he put it out of harm's way. It was either going to be his man or an incompletion.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Tigers trying to shake up Archbold a little bit with that 1st down long toss. Now they have 2nd and 10. They're going to give it to Perchlik off the left side. Perchlik picks up a couple of toughies. Nice article on Jacob Perchlik in the paper this week.
Yeah, Jacob and his younger brother Peter getting in a lot of good rock'em sock'em football here with these Tigers.
Yeah, Jacob Perchlik, number 41, a very intense football player. Very hard-nosed, all hardcore. All right, Tigers now 3rd down and 8. Again, a 3rd and long situation. 2 setbacks. Brown quick drop has 2 protectors. He goes deep, and knocked down around the 20-yard line. Irving didn't have much chance there.
And a nice defense there by the Streaks. The Streaks had position on him, and the ball's in there. Actually, the Streak had a better chance at that ball than did Andy Irving.
Yep.
Spike,
Good.
now the ball being in Archbold territory here, we could generate a fake on this if we had to, couldn't we?
And you darn betcha we could, but you're not going to fool the Streaks. They're going to have 10 men up, and now they sneak another guy up. Their long return man is sneaked up a little bit there. He's only back at the 25. Tigers may fake, but I think they'll drive it deep. No, they are going to run the fake. They're going to set up left-handed toss out there, and that's going to be knocked down.
Yeah.
Well, you got to hand it to Liberty Center on one thing. They're not going to back down here.
No, you love that idea.
They went for the play with, I believe that was that Sexton taking the direct handoff, or was it Hefflinger?
Oh, it's Hefflinger. Hefflinger on
Okay.
the pass, I think. Anyway, out there as a potential receiver, two Tigers couldn't quite come up with it. One of them was Andy Speece. Did you get the number of the other one there, Spike?
No. Had it close, but
Yeah.
Archbold, of course,
No,
I
it's
think
all
half
right.
expected
Now,
it.
defense took a breath, and there we go.
All right, now the Tigers really need a defensive stop here in the worst way, even more so a turnover. Little hitch. Gehrig finds Dunning wide open on that, again, a slant route.
Yeah,
and that's been the nemesis for the Tigers.
Plenty of Tigers to get him there. Pertzlick, Jacob Howard, and Andy Speece not far away, but big pass. Gene Gehring is just about as accurate as he can possibly be right here at this point, Spike.
Well, I still hold that Archbold, Patrick Henry, Fairview, Liberty Benton withstanding, I still think they are one of the best teams, one of the premier teams in Northwest Ohio, especially with Gehrig healthy and right. Gehrig back to drop, has pressure from McClory, diving grab, that'll be good for maybe a yard or two. And Liberty may, Jim, like you mentioned earlier, we may have to start showing them the blitz. We may have to gamble a little bit more.
Spike, they have to do something because he's just a surgeon out there. I mean, he's finding his receivers on any pattern you can dream up. I mean, he's just throwing strikes.
Yep.
I'm not keeping book on him here on what his stats are. We got some men here doing that, but boy, he's just.
It's still hard to get pressure, but you do want to at least get a hand in his face.
You want to make him think about it.
Three-man rush, got all day.
Whoa.
That's caught at the 30-yard line. Nothing, twisting, turning return.
Yeah. You know, Jacob Pertzlick almost got his fingers on that, and I don't even know if he was trying to cover him. There's so many receivers out there going this way and that way, and you know, sometimes these pass plays are actually designed to pick a defender. Can't call it that, but you know that when they send that many receivers out, they do in fact do some blocking out there.
That was
Screening, I guess.
Group number 4 on the grab. So now the ball at the 16-yard line of Liberty Center. They fake the reverse. Gehrig takes it straight up the middle, has to leap over a diving Neff, and picks up about, we'll call it 4 yards.
Yeah.
And once again, Archbold making it tough on Liberty's defense. They stretch them to either side, and then Gehrig will pound it up the middle.
Yeah, you wonder this quarterback so long in this particular system, if he's calling the plays there or what. I don't see players going in and out.
Boy, that's a good question, Jim. I don't know. Actually, it just kind of, hey, you find the open man type of situation. All right. Throws it out there to the underneath man at the 11-yard line. That's caught by Dunning, and he'll have enough for an Archbold first down.
Jacob Howard and Brian Bush on the stop, but wow, the receiver's open there for just an instant, you know, and maybe isn't open very long, Spike, but they're so adept at that Gehring delivers on target.
Well, when we first saw this offense, the spread offense from Archbold, when Gehrig was only a sophomore, it wasn't as finely tuned as this, and the Tigers could put pressure on, and they could do this and they could do that. But now we're seeing the final product. Takes the snap. Now they give to that guy. He forced a belly deep. by, I think, Purdue got in there,
Yeah.
forced him to go deep. And that time the play stopped for a couple of yard loss.
Yeah, Danny Irving credited for nailing him there, and it looked like the Tigers were going to turn a big loss out of it. Big loss out of that.
You know, I saw the second half of the Archbold Fairview game the night that Liberty and Evergreen got weathered out. And every time Archbold tried a trick play, it usually didn't work. When they just stuck basic, they moved the ball relentlessly, as we see tonight. Goring out of shotgun now on a little delay. Works his way down inside the 5 to about the 3. That's going to be a gain of 5 yards.
Yeah, Perchlik was able to get a hand on him. He was being blocked, but he was able to kind of get a piece of him, enough to get him staggering a little bit, and then he was cleaned up by some others. But, boy, the Tigers got their backs right there to their goal line.
Well, it's going to take nothing short of a small miracle here. Archbold, 3rd and goal from the 3. 4:47 left in the second quarter, and Archbold already leads by 2 scores. Double wide outs to the far side. Trip receivers over here, and we've got a flag.
Yeah.
Probably delay a game.
Well, you know, Spike, I was thinking earlier a play just took a long time and there was no flag come out, and that one didn't look like that took any longer than any of them, but good call there. Tigers get a little breathing room right there on the goal line.
Yeah, and that could make a difference too, because with going back the extra 5 yard, Archbold certainly will kick adept at kicking field goals, so that we'll see if that changes anything. So 3rd and goal now from the 8. Trip receivers to the far side. Tigers in a man defense. Quick drop, in trouble.
Yeah.
And
McClory, Chad McClory able to knife in there and let him down nicely. And
now that pushes the ball back to the 15, and we'll see if that doesn't effectively push Archbold out of field goal range. But they've got a new team in there, so I think they may still go for 3. Hopefully that sack by McClory will take them out of the range.
Well, we'll see. They're placing a tee out there on about the 23-yard line. We'll see what they've got for a kicker.
33-yard attempt. We'll call it a 32-yard attempt by the Streaks. Snap good, down, up, and that never got up at all.
Right.
So the Tigers do get that small miracle we talked about, and they'll have the ball out at the 20-yard line. So on top of stopping them when they got down with a 3rd and goal at the 3, now we've even got it back out to the 20.
Yeah, got a little better position there, but more importantly, kept that 3rd touchdown off the board. So Tigers just need to get something going of their own.
Yes, with 3:50 to go, they've got just about enough time left if they open it up and try to push it upfield. And they desperately do need a score. They trail 14-0. Just under 4 minutes left. Double wide outs to the far side. Brown throws underneath, caught by Irving. Yards after the catch, Irving stays, rambles, and picks up about, we're going to call it about 7 maybe, and gets out of bounds. That stops the clock, of course, which right now is important to the Tigers.
Yeah, that's a good, comfortable thing to do, is to get your pass out there to your favorite target and have him feel good about it.
Well, from here, it looked like a terrible spot, but we're a long way away from where the tackle was made on the Liberty sideline. So the Tigers set up with a wide out to either side, 2 setbacks, and we're going to get a motion penalty.
Yeah. 76 there would be Andrew Schwab. Took a step backward, getting ready to do a little pass protection blocking, and it was before the snap count, so that's got to draw a flag and a 5-yard penalty.
Well, certainly it makes it a little more difficult, but at this stage of the game, whether you need 5 or whether you need 10 is academic.
Yeah, every once in a while, every 4 downs, you got to be able to move the markers there. But
all right, Mays on the far side, Irving over here. Quick slant to Irving, and Archbold defense met him directly at the point of the catch. Number 15 for Archbold Breon Price met him just as the ball got there.
Yeah, and Spike is, I think, toward the second half. That's what the Tiger defenders have to do. Occasionally, you'll get there too soon, and it will draw a flag. But boy, you gotta jar them. You gotta get there.
Well, now it's a must situation. Tigers with a 3rd and 9. Archbold with 8 men up in the box. They show blitz. They give it straight ahead to.
There was an inside handoff there. Who was that? I believe that was Bush. Who was the ball carrier? Yeah, 33, Brian Bush. And as he went down, looked as though that ball was clawed out of there. But it results in a Tigers still retained possession. And Quigley evidently was able to cover that fumble, Spike.
Howard needs to get off a good one here. The Blue Streaks back around just in front of their own 40-yard line. And that's probably going to be delay.
No, he's panting his left arm. What's that all about? Left shoulder.
They're counting the people.
Whoa, somebody's got too many.
Is it Archbold? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I got 11 now. Whoa, that should...
Hey, boy, what a break. What a big break.
That is a great break.
With 4th and 4, the Tigers get a 5-yard illegal substitution call, and that puts them back in business, however, at their own 30-yard line.
Yep, just under 3 minutes, Spike, so there's time yet.
Yeah, clock running. We've got Hefflinger spread out wide over on this side. And another penalty. No.
Timeout was called by the Streaks there.
You know, Liberty Center, in that last series before the penalty, didn't move the ball, and they stopped the clock twice on incomplete passes. And boy, sometimes when you don't get it out of there, you know, they were going to leave they were going to leave Archbold with probably pretty good field position in time to put up another score. So you want to throw the ball. You want to keep them spread. You want to do good things. But if it ain't working, you know, sometimes that works against you.
Yeah, exactly. But you can't pull in your horn, Spike. You got to try and whatever it takes. You know, I mean, and if it's gambling a little bit, then you got to be rolling the dice, because they desperately want to get on the board here before the half ends.
And it'll be interesting to see how Archbold comes out if they want to drop off and play the prevent type of stuff, or are they going to stay up in the face of the Tigers, showing blitz, putting 8 men up in the box, challenging Liberty Center to...
Spike, what game was that this year? It was a Tiger home game where the clock just would not go away. I mean, it wouldn't move, and the opposition was able to use that last 46 seconds.
All right, motion
forever.
this way. They're going to give it to Sexton. Running room around the 30, up to the 35. Finally, horse collared out at around the 40-yard line, so a big gain on first down. An excellent call against...
But they're keeping the clock winding, Spike. They say he didn't get out.
Okay, 9-yard gain, but the Tigers have time, 2:24 and running.
And they've also got 2 timeouts left, if you can believe the fancy scoreboard over there. So Tigers got a bit of a drive here, this 2-minute offense here.
Double wing package. Oh, yeah, they're going to get it finally. Delayed call. They had 2 men go in motion at once.
Yeah.
Ouch. Boy, the Tigers have starting to pile up a few penalties here, and that call was really crucial on that roughing the punter, roughing the kicker. And so the Tigers now will be shoved back 5 yards. But again, in the scheme of things, they need a lot more than the 7 yards now or 6 yards now for the first down.
Yeah, and the clock's still working there with Tigers with 2 timeouts. But they're going to need a home run here pretty soon.
After they set the penalty. Irving wide out here, double wing package. Now we've got Perchlik in motion. Here is the give up inside to Bush. Bush, they try to throw the big home run. You know, Bush with that quickness, that speed, if he can break through that initial barrier at the line of scrimmage.
18 inches from first down, Spike, but the clock getting down to $1:30.
Yeah, they're going to need the big strike. They're still 61 yards away. Clock running, 1:24. Now Irving spread wide to the far side, double wing package. Nobody, now finally Sexton on a late motion. Here is the give. They're going to get second effort,
First
and
down.
I believe Perchlik on the run.
Yep, and the ref's got to flag her down till they get the sticks moved. So hopefully there's plenty of plays coming in to Patrick Brown so that he can call a series. Still a minute 12, Spike, and Tigers with 2 timeouts. So
Yeah, now you've got to think about starting to push the ball upfield. They got their first down, but they're still 60 yards away. A wide out to either side. Brown quick drop, quick slant, throws it a little behind Hefflinger, and that one falls incomplete. Now that is the pass play that Archbold has been able to wreak havoc, if you will, on the Tigers tonight on that quick slant.
yeah, one thing about that spread offense, they have so darn many people out there that, again, defense scrambles around. Well, I got this guy, and all of a sudden, well, there's a guy standing.
Yeah.
Zip, ball to him, and he's got
Yeah.
little cushion to run.
All right. 2 running backs. Brown, straight drop between, has time, throws upfield.
Oh,
Irving
yeah, he
can't
had
hang on.
He had separation there. I mean, that should have been good. Looked like he got one paw on it, but couldn't quite rake her in, because that would have set him up. On about the 42-yard
about
line?
the 40-yard line, yes. Now it brings up third down. Clock stopped 54 seconds. But with the spread offense, you can do those things because you do them every play. And for Liberty,
Yeah.
you've got mixed the run and the pass. Here's Brown, third down, straight drop. Has time. They set up a screen to Hefflinger. Hefflinger cuts it up inside. Good for about 4 yards, but it's not going to be enough for a first down. Clock will continue to run at 43, and the Tigers have a fourth down and 6 yards to go.
Archbold's streaks stopped the clock here.
Wow. Well, obviously the Tigers right now need 7 yards, but they're going to need a big play somewhere with the ball just short of midfield.
Yep, but
and surprisingly enough, Archbold calls the timeout.
Yeah, but Spike, I'm taking heart with this flurry of offense by the Tigers here on this 2-minute drill. I mean, it hasn't always been successful. Penalty here and a penalty there, but at least they showed some promise in what they were trying to run and had some success at it.
For donating this apparatus to possibly hurt someone, I'm going to say.
Well, Archbold sees Liberty in punt formation. They've got a man back at about the 20, just outside the 25-yard line.
Chad McClory deep there for the Tigers. Or no, it's Jacob Howard. It is Jacob.
High spiraling punt. Fair catch called for, now takes off, runs away from it, and Archbold will let it go, and the Tigers fall on it there at the 27-yard line. 29-yard punt and no return for Howard.
34 seconds to defend for these Tiger defenders here, Spike.
Well,
If Gehring decides to put it up deep, one could hope for a Tiger pick.
yeah.
And we've seen some of those earlier in the season.
All right, now 4 wideouts to the wide side, the far side of the field, the Liberty Center side, if you will. Gehring is not going to sit on it. Drops, throws deep. He's got a man.
There's their pick
Picked
right
off
there.
by Irving at the 50. Down to the 40-yard line. Makes a move. Cuts back to the middle of the field. Breaks a tackle. Cuts to the outside at the 30. And finally hauled down at the 22-yard line.
All right, there's the Tiger defense
20
coming up.
seconds to go on the opportunistic Tiger defense under Danny Irving. Danny, one of the leaders in Northwest Ohio in interceptions.
Oh, in retrospect, then Archbold would have says, well, I guess we kind of got greedy there, you know. Thought 34 seconds, maybe they could really light it up. But Danny Irving jumped on that one and got the Tigers knocking on the door.
Now, with 2 timeouts, the Tigers have got time to make something happen here from the 22. Straight drop by Brown. Throws to the short side underneath, and that's caught down there at the 10-yard line. No, wait a minute. No.
Hefflinger couldn't hang on to it, but he did have his hands on it. A couple blue streaks there muscling with him at the same time, Spike.
Yeah, now that would have been good enough for a 1st and 10. Tigers, but they've got time, 16 seconds. They've got time to pick up a first down, and they could have as many as 4 or 5 plays, depending on the nature of the beast here. All right, Irving will spread out wide to the far side. Hefflinger over here on the short side. 2 setbacks. Brown drops, looks, fires high, and that's going to be incomplete at the 10-yard line. Over the head of Irving and almost picked off, but it falls harmlessly incomplete.
Yep, 10 ticks left, and Tigers still with a couple timeouts, so only takes one good shot, Spike.
Yep. Well, and the beauty of it is you've got time for 2 plays for sure. It's third down. You don't have to go to the end zone yet. You can still get it down there around that 10-yard line area and pick up the first down. And if it's quick enough, who knows, you may still have time for 2 plays.
Yeah, everybody knows it's passing time, so the Tiger offensive front there is just got to give all the protection they can there for
Irving's got
Brown.
1 man on him. They're going to look for Irving. Here's the slant, and broken up again. Good defense again by Archbold. So now the Tigers are going to have 1 last shot. 5 seconds left, and it'll be 4th and 10 from the 22. We've seen some excellent pass defense tonight by the Archbold Blue Streaks.
Yep, and I believe the Tigers' defense against Gering is going to tighten up even some more here, Spike.
Well, Tigers need we got 1 small miracle that we asked for earlier by stopping them when they had 3rd and goal at the 3 for no score. Now the Tigers are going to need something here on the offensive side.
Oh, boy.
To get that thing into the end zone.
This would be a big momentum gatherer here if the Tigers can pull this off. And we've seen it, Spike.
Okay.
Patrick Brown can put her on target.
Irving to the wide side. Hefflinger over here. In trouble. Brown fires it upfield. And that'll go incomplete.
Yeah.
And time runs out here in the first half.
Yeah, the only thing the Tigers could hope for there, Patrick Brown had a lot of pressure. Man, he had to drop way back from what was the line of scrimmage because the streaks were really coming, was to hope for a penalty. Couldn't quite be on target with it, maybe a flag, but no, it wasn't to be. The Streaks played good defense after giving up that pick to Irving that set the Tigers up pretty close here.
Well, we saw this last week. Liberty Center had control in the first half. They dominated play and they led 14-0. So on that note,
that was a tale of 2 halves last week.
Absolutely.
So we can hope for the same thing this week.
All right, 14-0 Archbold as we get set for the halftime break.
The time of possession, as you can imagine, Archbold leads 16 minutes, and the Tigers just over 7.5 minutes. On first downs, the Tigers mustered just 3 first downs, whereas Archbold had 11. On the passing, 13 completions out of 16 attempts with 1 pick against Archbold for 132 yards. The Tigers had 3 completion with 14 attempts for 23 yards. So total offense there, 31 plays for Archbold, 172 yards. 23 plays for the Tigers, net just 47 yards. On third down conversions, the Archbold.
Okay, the kickoff right there and a low one recovered quickly by Quigley down around the 30-yard line where the Tigers will put it in play. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Well, just about finished there. The rushing was 15 rushes for 40 yards for Archbold, and the Tigers rushed 9 times for 24 yards. But Gene Gehring really lightened it up, Spike. They've got a computer, just like in any phase of the game, give him a quarterback rating of 138.
Well, fumble on the first play from scrimmage, and I think Archbold's got it.
Brandon Reed never quite was satisfied with that ball. It looked as though Patrick Brown got it to him, but somehow or other, he never accepted possession, or at least not found a handle. It's going to set Streaks up pretty good here, Spike.
Well, and as we heard from the stats, the Tigers just not hitting on all cylinders, and at the same time, G. Gorig from Archbold, very precise and surgeon-like in his tosses. So Tigers with an uphill battle anyway to get the momentum change. Now the turnover, this could be the killer bee, even on the first play from scrimmage. Now, there you go. We never saw that in the first half.
That was off target by several yards there, Spike.
Yep. So, that brings up second down and 10.
What do you suppose the Tigers implement here in the second half to slow that passing game down a little bit, Spike? What do you think?
Well, obviously they've got to find a way to put pressure on. Patrick Henry had pressure on the quarterback all night long, and in turn you just have to hope that they don't pick you apart. Now Gehrig has to scramble. That's a good sign. On his 30, still has time. Finally gets rid of it. Caught at around the 20. Boy, oh boy, they got out of one there, and that will bring up a third and very short.
Spike, the streak offensive line there was dancing around and just able to give what seemed like a long time for Gehrig to dance around back there till he got a receiver in the open.
Yeah, that's the danger. Now, typically, you will see Gehrig running the football in these situations, and they do. He does. They do. They pick up the first down, and Archbold knocking on the door. They've got it. 1st and 10 at the Liberty Center 16. Now, you can put all the pressure on in the world, but if you don't force something, you're not going to sack him often.
Yeah.
But you need to make him do what he doesn't want to do, and then when he does run, you have to contain him. And that's asking a lot out of any defense.
Yeah, well, 13 for 16 there in the first half. You just can't allow him to have that kind of success. So you figure out a way to do something.
All right. Archbold with it. They put a man in motion. They're going to fake it. A little delayed draw by Gehrig, and he's going to get down inside the 10-yard line. And once again, Archbold able to find in every little small set of, not counting the 4th down plays, but in every small set of 3 plays, they find a big one for 7 or 8 yards, and it makes their job easier.
Well, that certainly was the pattern there for the first half, so things better change or the scoreboard's going to change. And I thought the Tigers put up a good flourish in that 2-minute drill just before the half ended with Irving's interception.
All right, man in motion again. Now they don't give it to him. And Gehrig keeps it. Holy boy, did he ever get pounded.
Yeah.
Number 9, Fiddler, came around on that fake sweep, and boy, somebody gave him what for, Jim.
Yeah, Derek Hefner had a hold of him there.
Yeah.
Had a hold of him and was able to get his forward progress stopped till he got a little help there from the rest of those Tigers.
Well, in the meantime, Gehrig runs the ball forward. They've got 3rd and very short again. He puts a man in motion, going to the far side. Gehrig is going to keep it, and he's going to be down around the 5. Yeah, he's down to about the 5. He's got it.
All right.
Yeah, that'll bring up 1st and goal for Archbold. 9:24. The clock stopped while they set the down box, and Archbold with a golden opportunity here to put the Tigers in a deep, deep hole. All right, they fake it. Gehrig's going to keep it, and he's going to get down to about the 3.
Brandon Neff able to, from being blocked even, reach up there and get him tackled, tripped up. So they're keeping him out, Spike, but they've got 3 downs yet.
Yeah, 3 downs from 2 yards out. 1 setback. Double wide out either side. They're just going to play power football, and Gehrig is into the end zone. You know, he was a last-second addition to the starting lineup with only just 2 minutes to go. At that point, he was still not starting, but they took a couple of quick checks, and they decided to go with it. And, boy, he's looked...
yeah, as a result from that ankle injury that he's recovering from there.
Yeah.
Well, he's a senior, and he wanted to have a big say in what happens here tonight. And, boy, rightly so. This is just playing his offense.
Good snap, hold good, kick drives up, and good for Archbold. So at the 8:33 mark of the third period, they take a 21-0 lead. Tigers had hoped maybe to sustain something, come out in that third quarter, show their mettle, move the ball downfield, and reestablish themselves in the game. And instead, a quick turnover on the first play from scrimmage, and now the Tigers are in a deep, desperate hole. Hey, let's get some sponsors here again in the second half while we've got a chance. These people making it possible for NCTV5 to be on our tape-delayed broadcasts and, of course, on our 92.9 live feed right at the ballpark. We've got the Porch Coaches, Dave's Auto Service with Dave Perry, Railside Meat Market with Bob Miller, Dan Hefflinger of Maritime Realty, Tiger Shop with Bob Shaddy, Holgate Metal Fab with Jeff and Todd Spangler, KK Collision with Kyle Kern, Lil and Ron Bruns with Rainbow Stitches. All right, back deep for Liberty Center. Mays on one side, I believe that's Spies. Low bounding kick taken by Perchlik at the 25-yard line. Perchlik, he busts his way up the middle, breaks through a tackle, and gets up across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
Yep, Spike, that's more than you could expect with that kind of kick there. But, you know, think about the field position for the Tigers. I mean, it's been at the 35.
Yeah.
About
three times now that I know of.
Yeah, this is time for the Tiger offense to just plain get it in gear here. Got to have execution across the line and just got to be able to make it happen.
All right, Sexton in motion. Brown going to roll left, has time, throws a deep one for Irving. Up there, battled, and that's going to be picked off down at about the 22-yard line. Once again, the Archbold Blue Streaks with that excellent pass defense, and they are going to take the pick, and they'll have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Yeah, that looked like a good play there, but ball could have been just a couple yards further, perhaps. Anyway, excellent coverage. He was on him like glue, just turned around, and there was the ball.
Yeah, about 40 yards in the air, and then, you know, you get that far downfield, and it's hard to be so precise that, but yeah, that perhaps would have. Well, the Streaks with the football. Tigers in dire straits now. They've got to come up with some kind of a defensive play.
Good pressure by Quigley.
Oh, my, caught. Wow. Well, I was watching the Tigers. They sent a fourth guy.
Yeah.
They got some pressure, but...
yeah. Hefflinger made the tackle here, but Gehring was able to step into that throw and deliver it, and that's a big gainer there, Spike.
Yeah, 30 yards upfield for the Blue Streaks on the gain.
You know, thinking of that pick there that caused the Archbold to start here, that was actually had a distance of a real good punt. So outside of spinning their wheels, the Tigers weren't hurting anything. But, man, they got to keep Archbold from putting up any more points here right away.
Now, for the first time tonight, probably the first time, Archbold with a 2nd and 10. And that is one of the ways that you hope to control their wide open offense, is force them into situations where they've got to think about getting it downfield.
Yeah, that might help a little.
Rather than the
receiver,
punch and Judy stuff.
Got hit right in the hands with that, Spike. You turned around looking at him.
And you won't see them drop the ball that often. All right, double wide out to either side. Tight end on the right, man in motion going to the far side. Gehrig drops straight back. Has a man open deep in the seam. Caught down there at the 20-yard line. And all the way down to the 10-yard line, and the Streaks now just going to town.
Danny Irving on the coverage there, but nearly a home run ball there, Spike. I mean, about as far as he could throw it. And put some about on the 11-yard line with a fresh set of downs. Archbold just able to pull a pass out of their hat whenever they want it. A lot of these plays must be audibles because I don't see any information coming in from the sidelines much, Spike.
Yeah, he's probably got a wide open berth there to just pretty much call what he wants. Now man in motion. Now Gary keeps it right up the middle, and boy, that's your one chance as a defender to put a lick on him.
Exactly.
And it's hard to bring him down. They don't get many open shots on him, with an exception there, but pretty elusive runner.
Yeah, Perchlik and Neff get him down, but they need to shake that ball loose if they could.
Well, and needless to say, they've got to find a way to come up with a defensive stop here. Already trailing by 3 scores. 6:47 here in the third period. Trip receivers to this side, the wide side, double over there, and all alone in the backfield. Gorig, 2-step drop, lost to the end zone, and a breakdown in coverage. It's an Archbold touchdown.
Yeah, it looked like Jacob Howard out there, number 20, lost his footing and kind of fell to his knees. And somehow or other, the blue streak was had some separation from anybody else on the coverage, and Gehring delivers a strike.
Everything looks good, and Archbold converts. 4th straight time this game. They lead it 28-0. 6.5 to go in the third quarter.
Spike, this is smelling like a wallop in here. I'm not liking it.
A good old backwoods country butt kicking.
Golly, they're serving it up to us now. Ain't even heating it in the microwave first, making us eat it cold.
Landis, I hope you're cut off, but I'm not picking.
Again, kickoff for the Blue Streaks following the touchdown.
Landis, can
I hear it just fine, Spike.
Okay.
I'm going back.
Okay, 6.5 to go. Low line drive kick. It comes right down near Perchlik, but he lets it go on back deep, and Spies picks it up finally at the 5. Spies cuts to the outside and brought down over there as they cross the 20-yard line. So Archbold with 4 every kickoff coming to that same spot, same manner, same style. Now this time Liberty with poorer field position.
So far tonight, Spike, Archbold doesn't seem to have any clinks in their armor, if you will. I mean, they're playing like a playoff-bound football team ought to play.
Well, sometimes you get the bear and sometimes the bear gets you. Right now, not good.
Oh, boy, that was a pass that was going to go. Perchlik had some elbow room there, but wasn't quite where he could rake it in.
Well, and you can't put a finger on it, but that's why some nights Archbold, for example, is hitting everything on the numbers.
Yeah.
They're grabbing it with the exception of the one drop we finally saw in the last series. But Liberty Center, for example, that's why they trail, because everything is just that half a bubble off, that time just out of the reach of Perchlik.
Yep.
Now they're going to give it to Sexton on a hard end around. Sexton with running room across the 30 and up to the 35 and halt down there. A 1st and 10 for Liberty Center.
Spike looked like he tackled him by his helmet there, but they didn't, no flag drop, but that there had to be the best play from scrimmage the Tigers have had.
Couple of reverses, that have went with Sexton, and that's been just about it. So now Brown under center. He's got Reed in the backfield, Perchlik in motion. Perchlik takes the handoff up the left side, running room, and gets up across the 45-yard line and down near the 50, and a gain of about 13 on the play, and another Tiger first down.
Well,
boy, Jimmy, it feels good to get a little offense going.
It does indeed. They've got some rushing going in the right direction here.
Well, and it's just a matter of working on Archbold's defensive front set and finding things that will open. Now double wing package. In motion, Sexton. Sexton running room, kicks it to the 50, down to the 45 and the 40. Slips one tackle and is finally brought down inside the 40-yard line, and another Tiger first down, another gain of about 13 on the play.
Tigers have got a real drive going here, and that accomplishes a couple things. It looks promising as we look toward their goal line, and it also keeps the ball out of Gene Gehring's hands.
Oh, boy. Well, you know it, and that Tigers, it goes without saying, they need to get this thing into the goal line, across the goal line, into the end zone, and then they need some kind of a big defensive play to turn it in, hopefully, to a quick score.
Yeah, now I don't know what Archbold's proclivity is to try and set on the ball with this kind of a lead and just get into a rushing game, or will they continue to put it up?
They'll stay with this.
Because they always have.
They'll stay with this offense. You may see some different variations of it. All right, back getting set here now. Sexton and McClory change places. Now Irving sets up wide to the far side.
A lot of people moving.
Timeout on the field called by the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers were in trouble. They had to be awfully close to that 0 count.
Right.
With the long set before and then the changing of positions.
And a lot of shifting.
Rolling, has time, sets up for the end zone. There's Irving, and another great defensive play.
Wow, he went to Irving, and Quigley, number 88, over there, just a little bit further to the sideline, was wide open, Spike.
Yeah, I missed Quigley.
Yeah, Quigley was out there.
David Rupp, number 4, has played a whale of a game for the Blue Streaks on defense. He's been able to break even. You know, he's been able to neutralize Patrick Irving in those deep tosses.
Yeah, he's been kind of shadowing him.
All right, 2nd down and 10, double wing set, in motion. They give it to Perchlik. Perchlik cuts it up the field, leaps over a block by Sharp.
Yep,
and
Sharp.
That's going to be close to a first down. That time, the Tigers, with 2nd and 10, were able to make a big play, much like Archbold has been able to do most of this game.
Alan Sharp made a good play on that number 4 for Archbold, who's in on just a lot of the defensive goings-on for the Blue Streaks.
Yeah, the
But
Tigers
have got a drive put together here. It's just the scoreboard shows them down 28-0 is the problem with it.
Well, and the Tigers finally able to figure out a way that they can move the football on the ground.
Yeah, and you think about how Patrick Brown's able to buy a little time for those deep patterns to mature. He kind of does a rollout. You know, he fakes one way, sort of play action here to the right, and then he sprints out to the left in a big rollout, and then he's out there where he's got time to rear back and fling her downfield.
Well, I think the really deep routes are just not going to be there unless they get a big break, because Archbold has done just such a great job of stopping that. The Tigers are just going to have to be patient enough to just move it. So after the measurement, Tigers are going to have a 3rd down, less than a yard. Here it is, back to throw, quick slant, caught by Perchlik, breaks the tackle, inside the 10-yard line, stays on his feet and all the way down to the 5. That time Brown put the ball right on the money. He had a defender draped all over him, but Perchlik, Jacob Perchlik, a man of intensity and desire, hauled that one in and stayed on his feet long enough to break a couple of tackles. Tigers got something going here. 1st and goal at the 5. 4:27, 3rd quarter clock running. Here is the give to Sexton. Sexton goes to the outside. He cuts it up, and he's into the end zone. It's a Tiger touchdown.
All right, amen there for the Tigers finally to get on that board. They got to love it. Who's the man jogging off to the sideline now? I can't see that number. Just going over there right now. 60 what? 66, is it? Anyway.
Don't know, Jim.
I
Couldn't
want to
get
make
it.
a comment about that guy. He almost drew a flag for a block. Would it be? No, it wouldn't be Chris.
All right,
Benson.
here's the snap. Good hold. Low kick, but good down the middle.
Yep,
So the
anyway.
Tigers on the board. 28-7, 4:20 to go, 3rd period.
Spike, that was an offensive drive there. That just looked like the Tigers. Yeah, 8-play, 79-yard drive for the Tigers. That's real Tiger football here. It's nice to be on that scoreboard. Anyway, as the blocking unfolded for that touchdown play, couldn't quite get his number. You'll see it. And he thought about making a block, but he wisely didn't because he did not have a clean look at all. It would have been a block in the back. It would have brought her all back, and the Tigers would still be trying to cross that goal line. So they're making good decisions on that play. They executed. They did what they needed to do, Spike.
Yep. Well, and they got Perchlick open on a trap. They got him, kind of a little delayed thing. They got him open around the far side, and they were able to use the speed of Sexton to sweep the end.
Yeah.
And that kind of opened things up enough that Brown, with an imaginative moving pocket, if you will, able to buy time, find room, and hit a couple of receivers for some big gains along the way.
Yep, still 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Tigers need to make something happen where they can get their hands on the ball again.
All right, here's the McClory kick. That's going to come up short. Taken there at the 18, fumbled, picked up at the 20. Looking for running room, and Jacob Howard takes him head on and hauls him down with a little bit of help there from Jacob Glapp.
Yep. Okay.
Now, Jimmy, what hopes the Tigers have, they have to come up with a defensive stand. What they need is to create a turnover here.
Yep, they need to, if they could, of course, come up with a pick, or in addition, get some pressure on the quarterback, or get the receivers covered. And that's a tall order, the way Gene Gehring's been directing traffic for the Blue Streaks all night.
All right. Quick toss over the middle, and that's caught. And Archbold able to use that inside stuff. And that time a gain of 10 yards, and that's going to be enough for Blue Streak, first down. 4:06 with the clock stopped momentarily while they move the chains.
Well, Tigers got a lot of real estate to protect. Long ways away from their goal line, but nevertheless, they need to get their hands on the ball without letting Archbold put any more points up.
Yeah, Tigers fighting for their very playoff lives here, if you will. They trail 28-7. They put pressure on, and that time caught over the middle. Holy mackerel, finally brought down by Brown himself, all the way down to the 30-yard line.
But what a pass by Gene Gehring.
33 yards, and I think Gehrig picked up the blitz, able to find, hone in on a guy as soon as the ball was snapped, and he simply
threw a perfect strike, Spike. That ball was right there.
Yeah, that little skinny post, and he was wide open. Now, we're going to spot the ball at the 28-yard line, where that'll be 1st and 10 for Archbold there. Trip receivers this way. Gehrig alone in the backfield. Sets up, fires over the middle, and that pass behind the intended receiver.
Yeah, that was.
We've seen very few of those tonight.
Yeah, and on that case, sometimes the receiver will run wrong routes, Mike. He's supposed to stop on a dime and come back. Used to call those things a button hook. I don't know if they use that terminology anymore, but they weren't on the same page there because it obviously was errant pass.
Yeah, one way or the other. All right, for the Tigers, it stops the clock. Anytime they can stop the clock here, it has to be a boost. Archbold now with 3 receivers to the far side. Out of shotgun. 3-step drop, looks, fires deep over the middle. And that's going to be well incomplete.
It had some pressure on him there. Sean Sexton sprinted in there. Also, big number Quigley. Big Adam Quigley was in there. Coming close enough to maybe bother on a pass like that, Spike.
Yep, they added the 4th guy on a little bit of a blitz. And I think Liberty has to do that. They pretty much have to sell their souls here.
They gotta have some gambling.
Yep, they've got to find a way to make that work where he has to maybe go deep. Trip receivers to the far side, the short side of the field. Now man in motion, sets up over here, He'll come out of the backfield. Gehrig
Chasing
forced
him.
to scramble with the 4-man rush. And caught. Touchdown, Archbold. Tigers had Gehrig scrambling. That's
did.
what they had to do.
I thought they were going to pin one on him back here for a huge loss and sack him, but instead he's able to deliver it in the end zone right on target. Another 6 points.
Well, a well-thrown pass. And Archbold up 34-7, 2:55 left third period.
Jack Downey for the PAT's kick conversion. Jack Downey's kick is good.
But wow, that
3, 2. Okay, as we get set for the kickoff, Archbold up 35-7. Some more of our sponsors. We've got the Henry County Bank with Bill Wendt, 6 locations throughout our county. Swanton Welding with the Zeider family. The Dugout with Steve and Catherine Parasini. Steve also does inside paint work during the winter. And Hill Asphalt Paving with Randy and Patty Hill. Now a bounding kick, and that bobbled, finally picked up by, I believe, Mays back at about the 18. He gets up to about the 23.
No, that was Andy Spees.
Andy
number
Spees,
6 on
excuse
that
me.
there.
Andy Speaks was the ball carrier.
So the Tigers back where they generated that last drive, 78 yards is the last one, and that's about where they've got the ball now. We've also got Truckers Paradise with Lynn and Jerry Ripke, the Huntington Bank in Liberty Center, Spees Trailer Court with Rick Spees, Liberty Center Consulting Group with Mark and Jody Bly, and now back to live action. Brown under center for the Tigers, man in motion coming this way. They fake that. Now they're going to give it straight ahead to Reed, and Reed's going to get up across the 25 up to about the 26. Gain of about 3 on the play. And I guess right now, Jim, when you're down by 4 scores, whether you throw or pass, it doesn't matter. You just have to try to generate something positive to help set something else up.
Oh, they've got to get a good feel about what they're doing, and most specifically, they got to keep the ball away from Gehrig.
Yeah.
So a nice drive here that uses up a lot of clock. There's still plenty of time if you keep them from scoring, and each time you have a possession, if you can stick her in.
Sexton in motion. Sexton brought down right away, and that's going to be a loss of a yard. Sexton trying to get outside like the Tigers were successful on their last series, but that time Archbold made the necessary adjustments and able to stop him for a yard loss. So Liberty Center looking at a 3rd down and 8 with 1 minute and 53 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Jim, time running out, I'm afraid, on the Tiger season.
It's slipping by here, Spike, and these Tigers
All right,
coming
Brown
up short here tonight.
dropping back, throws across the field. And, yep, now we've got the pass interference, much like we saw in the first quarter. That, I believe, was Perchlik out there running a flag route and got tripped up as the pass, just before the pass got there.
Yep.
So the Tigers will get a 15-yard and a 1st down penalty. While they walk it off, let's get some more of our people in here. B.A. Miller and Sons Trucking with Norma Miller and family, one of the original sponsors. L.R. Babcock Plumbing and Heating with Bill Tiplady, Dan and Francis Brown. Davis Farm Services in Delta and Liberty Center with Karen Howell. And Pizzanello's Pizza, with the home of the slice of pizza to go for a buck with Craig and Sherry Myers. For the Tigers now, 2 wideouts this way, motion this way. Brown's going to give it straight ahead. I believe that's Reed. Reed up across the 45 to the 46.
Yeah, good yardage. Good yardage on that carry, Spike.
Yeah, boy, now if we could have just come out in the first half with our offense looking the way we're seeing it now.
Yep.
You know, if the dog hadn't stopped to take a break, he'd have caught the rabbit. But
the last 2 minutes of the first half, the Tigers showed a lot of promise there.
All right, double wing back package. Irving to this side, motion this side, Sexton. Brown drops back, rolls right, stops, fires over the middle, and that's caught for a first down. A gain of about 9 on the play, and the Tigers have the ball at the blue streak, 46. Perchlik with a great grab there over the middle.
Yeah, 58, Phil Miller making an excellent block back there that enabled Patrick Brown to have enough protection that he was able to step into that throw, Spike.
Well, the third quarter clock running down now, 38 seconds remaining. First and 10 Tigers, 46 yards away. Motion, Sexton, fumble, and I believe Brown fell on it. That's one of the few fumbled exchanges we've seen in between the center and the quarterback this season. I can only think of one other off the top of my head. So, and at this point, again, that means little. The Tigers need to strike early, often, and briskly. All right, some more sponsors here. As the quarter comes to an end, we've got Miller Brother Trucking with Skip Miller, Mitchell Farm Equipment with Tom, Pat, Barb, and Mike Mitchell, right out there by M.A. Miller's Trucking Garage. Also, Meyer Badenhop Insurance Agency with Glenn Badenhop in the Napoleon office, Bob and Marge Jurassics in Liberty Center. Also, Ken and Robin Carpenter, John Slagle in the memory of good old Donnie Sharp and those stinking rotten no good yellow flags. The wall at the 46. Brown rolling out, goes deep again. He's got Sexton, and another good defensive play. They knock it away from Sexton down at the 5-yard line, when at first it looked like he had everybody beat.
Spike,
Boy, Jim.
He did, but the defenders caught up with the play.
Yeah, and
there's no other way to say it. Sexton was there. If the ball could have been there at that time, he would have been showing them a clean pair of heels crossing the goal line. But getting that ball got there, so did about 3 streaks.
Yep, 45 yards in the air. Tigers now with the third down and 11. Tigers on Archbold's 47. Here's Brown, straight drop. Has time, throws over the middle. And a scrum and a catch.
Yes, sir.
Irving, under all kinds of pressure, hangs on to the football. We've got a flag on the play. I'm going to assume pass interference, and that actually will push the ball ahead even another yard or two.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, on a
15-yard penalty.
On a catch even there.
However, I mean, at this point, it's doesn't really matter. The ball is going to be in the vicinity of the blue streak 35-yard line.
With fresh downs. A very important factor there.
Yep.
As we look at under 12 minutes, the fourth quarter having started here, so Tigers have got to strike every time they get their hands on a ball, Spike.
Yep. Tigers now come with Irving to the wide side, this side of the field. Tight end over on the left, Quigley. Single setback, double wing package. Man in motion to this side. Here is Brown handing off, I think, to Reed. Reed gets down inside the 30. We'll call it a gain of about 3. So the Tigers will have second down and 7 just across the Archbold 30. 11 minutes to go, Jim. Tigers need a score quick.
Oh, they do, and a score would make them feel better, a lot better.
Yeah. Irving now sets wide out to the far side. Perchlik, the wing back on the far side. Sexton over here. Sexton in motion. They're going to run a double reverse inside. Perchlik with the football at the 20. Breaks one, slips one, and down all the way inside, down near the 12-yard line. Boy, Jimmy, they're finding things that work now.
Yeah, they are. Brandon Reed, 26. A nice block downfield there to screen off a streak so that a little more running room there for the Tiger ball carrier. So, boy, another good drive here, Spike.
Yep, we're going to call that an 18-yard gain. Tigers with a first and 10 at the Archbold 12. And boy, and you look at this and you think of the first half when the Tigers could muster literally no offense.
Yep.
And yet they've moved the ball with regularity here in the second half.
Yeah, just like they meant to do.
All right, Tigers set up in a wing tee set. They're going to pitch to Reed. Reed leaps one tackle, battles his way down near the 5-yard line.
Oh, he dropped the ball, and they're going to turn it over to the streaks here.
No.
Wow.
Well,
He was in the process of being tackled there, Spike, but evidently they're saying he wasn't down.
No.
And Streak says, I'll take that ball, and that snuffs out a real good drive there that the Tigers needed in the worst kind of way.
No, but they're going to now, okay, they ruled that Liberty kept it. I thought for sure they pointed the other way. I was completely fooled. All right, Sexton in motion to the far side. Brown rolling that way, has time behind the Reed block. Nice little shot out there, caught.
Yeah.
I believe by Sexton, and that's going to be down to about the 2.
Yep.
Jim, I never could see the football. It looked like it came out, but I never saw who had it.
I watched
they never gave a definitive signal.
Well, that's it. I misinterpreted his signal. He was meaning, no, the play's dead here, but I thought with his hand motion, he was
he was pointing the other way.
Yeah, but nice catch there by Sean Sexton, and a nice pass. That's not a big target for Brown to put her in there, but he did.
All right, motion this way, Irving to the far side. They're going to run it in. Reed, the ball carrier, gets down to the 1 and met there before he really could get up ahead of steam. So we'll give him a couple of feet on the play. Second and goal, about a yard, about 4 feet away, we'll say. But valuable time running off the clock. The Tigers trailed by 4 scores.
Yeah.
Right now, you just need the first one.
They want to get this in the worst kind of way. They're going to keep it right there till they make it happen. If they
all right, man in motion.
Down.
Give to this outside and up and good. It's a Tiger touchdown, Jacob Perchlik.
Yep.
Perchlik took the handoff from his wingback spot, ran across, and they did the old dummy drill of waiting and cutting up between into a gap and into the end zone. Tigers score. Wow, 35-13, 8:48 left.
That was 12 plays for 77 yards there, Spike, and it used 6 minutes and 7 seconds off the clock there.
Kick is up, low line drive, and they're going to rule it off to the left. Well, that's 2 long drives, Jim.
Yeah.
78, 77 yards for 165.
That
155 yards on about, 2 long sustained drives. It's just that the Tigers didn't have it in the first half. They just could not find a way to move the football.
Yeah, and they allowed the Streaks to light up the scoreboard pretty good on the strength of Gene Gehring's surgeon-like passing there. I think they had him for 13 of 16 passes there in the first half. And, boy, when he needed one, it just seemed to dig down and make it happen.
Yeah. Well, and then too, you're down 14-0. You're not out of the game, but nothing has worked up to this point. Except for that late drive, a few plays, they move the ball, but they don't get it in. Now, second half starts, first play from scrimmage, we turn the ball over on the 25-yard line, we'll say. And short field, Archbold goes up by 3 scores. Now you're looking down the practically impossible barrel.
Yeah,
now,
kick
that out. No, kick that out, and we just play our game.
Yeah.
And now we look at the score, and it's still salvageable.
Yeah, you'd be in the ball game. If,
yeah. Well, the Tigers aren't fooling around with 8:48. They're going to set up Jacob Howard now to kick off. They're going to set up for the obvious onside kick try. Tigers kicking off from the far hash on the 40-yard line. Archbold with 10 men up. Here's the kick, bounding, and it's not going to go far enough. It doesn't go the full 10 yards. It'll go out of bounds at about the 49. Boy, that was the perfect kick if it would have taken a nice skip forward, but such was not to be.
That is quite a play if it's successful, and just to see him work on it, and they were kind of precision the way they were all bunched up and came down there just in a perfect line, and I'm sure they were hungry on that ball, but first off it needed to go 10 yards and or be touch a streak, and neither happened, so
Tigers got the ball.
Set them up pretty good here, the Streaks.
Here's a scoring rundown after 3 quarters. Sonora 28, Fairview 14.
Look at that. Tenora's going to make that stand up.
Well, 28-14 Tenor after 3 quarters of play. Who'd have thunk it? All right, back to action here. 8:43 left in the game. Streaks ahead, 35-13, and Gehrig in shotgun. Couple step drop, fires over the middle, and that's caught right away and hauled out of bounds by Andy Spies.
And or Neff right over there too. I believe Spies laid the first lick on him.
You know, when you come into a game like this, you've got to go in with the idea that we've got to hope to hold Archbold to about 3 scores, maybe 4, but we've got to have the offense clicking.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that maybe has been where when they look back at this thing, they'll try to sort it out
The
and say,
offense,
well, what if?
Had about three and outs right to start the game, and that's no way to get any momentum working your way.
All right. Now, Fiddler, the quarterback, number 9, and they're going to run right out of, kind of like out of the old single wing offense where they just take the direct snap and run to one side or the other. Liberty, of course, with everybody up in the box. So a gain of 4, it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Blue Streaks. And, of course, from Archbold's standpoint, Gehrig back in there, number 12. Last time he was out. You know, if I'm Archbold, I'm ahead by 3 touchdowns. I'm not sure I'd be wasted Gehrig right here.
I would agree, Spike.
All right, back to throw, over the middle, hit and dropped right away.
Yeah.
Excellent coverage by Hefflinger.
Yep, Derek Hefflinger put a lick on him just the time the ball got there. And, you know, looking at that play, coverage right when the pass gets there, we needed to see some of that the first half. And, you know, we talked about Tigers, you know, respecting the streak receivers until they knew exactly, well, what kind of moves they have. But, man, again, they turned around twice. They were in a hole, a big hole.
Well, Archbold, 4th down, 6 yards to go at the Tiger 45. They're going to forego the punt with a 3-touchdown lead, and they're going to go for it. Not sure of the wiseness of this.
Well, they'll get 5 yards on the offsides there. He kind of winked us on a snap count.
Well, it's going to bring up now 4th and 1, and that'll obviously make more sense for Archbold perhaps to run a 4-down play, but when you're up by 22, Jim, I'm not so sure of the
Well, remember, it appeared Archbold might have got a little greedy just before the half. There were about 34 seconds to go, and they set the Tigers up on their own 20-yard line after Danny Irving picked a pass.
Now we see what we normally see.
Yeah.
Gehrig with the keeper. He's going to dive forward for a couple of yards, and that'll be an Archbold first down. Okay, Gehrig will come out here on first down.
Yeah, fresh quarterback going in for the Streaks. Dominic is going in there.
Number,
I thought Dominic was going in there. Number 4, David Rupp.
Yep. Yeah, he's the backup quarterback and has seen some action lately and has done reasonably well, according to Archbold sources. But a loss on that play of a couple yards. Jim, I didn't couldn't pick out the tackler.
Trying to read the roster here for the Streaks.
All right, what we've got here is 7:02 clock running. Archbold leads 35-13 with the ball at the Tiger 40. They set up in the trip receiver set to the far side. 2 wideouts over here. Out of shotgun is Rupp. He gives it off on an inside reverse. 1 tackle broken. Tigers force him to the outside. Finally shoved out by Hefflinger at about the 32. And a pickup of about 8 for the Blue Streaks.
Now, Andy Spies had him behind the line of scrimmage, or didn't quite have him. I mean, had a shot at him and couldn't quite get a hold of him.
So we'll call it 3rd down and 4. Blue Streaks with the ball at Liberty Center's 32. 6.5 left in the season for the Tigers. Barring a major miracle in the playoff standings. Here's the snap. and falling down. They try that little delay with the wing back reverse, but that got botched up, and now it's 4th down for Archbold. You know, Jim, I suppose there is a mathematical way for Liberty to get in.
Yeah, if Tenora wins and if Wauseon upsets PH, those are both teams we beat, of course. So
yeah, and then I think we still need a team or two to get knocked off that is right behind us.
But Tenora looks like they may hold up against Fairview. I think Patrick Henry and Wauseon, the Pats either are on top or have pulled even.
Okay, an Archbold timeout on a botched play. And with the clock stopped at 5:54, we'll be back. Archbold 35, Liberty 13. All right, set up to go here. Tigers with everybody up on the line of scrimmage, dropping straight back. Here's the left-handed long toss. And excellent coverage by Liberty Center. That's Spiess out there, stride for stride with Dunning, and that ball well overthrown. Tigers will take over there at the 34-yard line.
I think we need Wauseon to win. Tenora to win.
Okay, Spike, we're going to have a few passes here from the Tiger offense, one can surmise.
Well, Tigers with the double wing set, Irving spread wide to the far side. Brown, quick drop, under pressure, rolls right, gets away from that, stays up, fires the long home run ball up, and that's going to be almost picked off. Boy, they had Irving flying down that sideline, but the Archbold umbrella defense, the free safety coming across, knocking the ball away.
Yeah,
that probably would have been a completion on a normal set, but Irving really catches a lot of attention.
Oh, he does. They know that he's the bread and butter receiver, the favorite, if you will, there by Patrick
the alpha
Brown.
and the omega.
Man, so they're kind of covering him, and
You
so
know,
it is.
next-
But how about the pressure that the streak pass rushers got on Patrick there?
All right, give to Sexton on that quick end around. Sexton looking for running room and picks up a few tough yards, and that's going to be it. Well, there's a case where Liberty normally keeps two backs in the backfield for protection.
Yeah.
And that time Brown rolled out kind of like on a naked bootleg. And, of course, here came the Blue Streaks because Tigers had more people in the pass routes. So, 5:12, clock running. Tigers trail by 3 scores. They have the ball at their own 38, 3rd and 7. Man in motion, Sexton. They fake it that way. They go the other way to Reed. Reed breaks one tackle. Outside at the 50, down to the 40, still on his feet. Carries a tackler all the way down to the 30-yard line.
All right, Brandon Reed was able to pick his way there and really
shoot.
turn it on and go,
Dead
Spike.
blasted. Doggone rotten, no good, stinking yellow flag is going to bring back a 32-yard gain for the Tigers. Brandon Reed on some misdirection.
They're going to call a hold against the Tigers. It maybe helps bring that ball loose, or that play loose, but the result is Tigers back on their 30-yard line.
All right, that'll bring 3rd and 15 back at the 30. So the Tigers 40 yards away from where they once were. Uh-oh, Brown in trouble. Brown, a valiant effort. Tigers try to get back and give him some support, but the Blue Streak pass rush is now going to put Liberty Center back even 5 yards further to the 25, and it's 4th down and 20. And that is just about going to do it for this football game. Jim, it'll be a miracle if the Tigers do make the playoffs in the back door.
Yeah, if they did make it, it indeed would be a backdoor thing. But, you know, upsets happen across the last game of the regular season scattered around northwestern Ohio here. And a lot of the teams the Tigers beat are having good, strong finishes here. Nice punt.
Yep, high spiraling punt. Hit and brought down right away. Patrick Irving. A small man in stature, but a huge football player.
Yeah, Danny Irving had a piece of him there, too.
That punt about 40 yards, 38 yards, and probably a couple yard loss once we see we
Well,
spot the ball.
4 minutes to go, and one would think there'd be some fresh jerseys in there for not only the Blue Streaks, but perhaps the Tigers, Spike.
Well, most of the Archbold skilled position people are still in place. Back up Rupp at quarterback. Here's motion. They give to him. Belly's outside a little farther. And, oh, my.
Yeah,
Still on his feet up near the 50-yard line.
number 8 made a block in the back, it appears, on Danny Irving out there, so that's going to be marched back.
You know, Jimmy, I saw that play, and I believe Irving got a little spin in there,
Yeah.
and he took the block in the back, but at the time that the
Yeah.
Archbold blocker was moving in on him,
Yeah.
Irving was fair game. He was
Right.
open and ready. And,
Well, that's a judgment call, Spike. I mean, you're going to get doing basketball here pretty soon, and many will be the time when you'll see a
yeah,
player get penalized for something.
yeah, I don't even want to think about that. But,
Well, officials do a tough job. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a thankless job out there, no matter what they do. But pretty much they do a fine job. Wouldn't you agree, Spike?
no. Oh, yeah. All right. 3:41, clock running. Archbold now with the football at the 20-yard line. Quarterback attempts a keeper, and he's going to be smothered in after maybe lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Anyway, Jim, as we're hearing, Tenora 18-point lead, 17-point lead over Fairview, so that'll be one of the major upsets of the year.
Yeah, Tenora's contending they would get a piece of the league championship in the Green Meadows if they're able to trip up Fairview with that highly touted offense.
And I'm hearing that Wasion's tied up with Patrick Henry.
Yeah, and boy, what a thing that would be. Of course, we beat both of those teams, so
Oh, wow. Rupp tries a straight-ahead dive, tackle. We've got
number 30's out there.
Jordan Seedorf. Yeah, Peter Perchlik, number 81 in the football game.
Also number 80's out there. That would be Tyler Johnson, a sophomore. Yeah, so Spike, I guess Dave Cluck on WNDH was talking about having a playoff show Sunday afternoon to determine who made them and who didn't make them, and you're always up on that. That information flies around as soon as the games are over with, right? I mean, people are working their calculators.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
They'll be cranking it out tonight and tomorrow and figuring in all the different aspects. Sunday afternoon, Jimmy, I'm going to be watching on Channel 36. I'm going to be watching the Detroit Lions destroy the Chicago Bears.
Whoa. That could be a pretty good contest, but the Lions are playing football this year somehow or other, Spike.
Well, some. Now they got a ways to go. All right. Now 4th down for the Streaks, back in punt formation. Drives it from the 12-yard line, a bounding kick.
Danny
and that's
Irving.
Be taken by Irving at the 38. Irving twists his way ahead and brought down up at the 47-yard line. A return of 9 yards, and the Tigers with 1:26 to go. That'll be their final drive here in the regular season. After this one, the Tigers now regular season end at 7-3. Archbold also at 7-3, and of course the experts claim that Archbold will leapfrog their way into the playoff picture with this win.
Yeah, that's just an interesting how that all works, but they will accumulate points from teams that they beat
Brown gives to Sexton, leaps over a tackler and rambles and bambles his way down to the 40-yard line.
Actually, that was Andy Speece there.
Andy Speece, that's
Yeah.
right. He's a backup running back.
We saw him
I saw the single digit, Jim. I'm sorry.
But Andy there, we saw him making strides initially there early in the season when Jake Elling went down. It was Tigers running back by committee, if you will, and Andy looked like he knows what to do with the ball when he gets it.
All right, now Sexton and Speece, double wing set. Here's the give to Reed. Reed slips one tackle, rambles, drives, and battles his way down to the 30-yard line.
What would be his year, Brandon Reed? What year is he
I
in,
believe
everybody?
he's a junior, isn't he?
A junior?
Yeah.
We
So
never
the
got
Tigers
him,
are
we
actually
never got him officially in the program somehow or other, Spike. We'll see what we can do next year on
Well,
that.
next year could be a banner year. You know, the Tigers are going to lose one of the top players in the area in McClory. Also Perchlick, it just comes to mind quickly.
Oh, Quigley. You know, there's a
Oh,
group
yes,
of
and
them
Adam
there.
Quigley. Brown throws deep. Knocked away. Another good defensive play. That's one thing where Archbold has really hurt the Tigers tonight.
Yeah, I was hearing that Archbold doesn't necessarily play good defense, but Spike, we couldn't find much fault with their defense tonight. Their pass coverage was
their
like
pass
a
coverage,
wet
yeah.
blanket out there. And, well, we broke a few runs, but nothing substantial. It just looks like a pretty good football team we're playing here tonight.
Well, and they've taken away everything deep. All the short stuff they're probably susceptible to, but we haven't been able to go deep at all. Sexton in motion. He's going to take the handoff behind Zen, and battles his way for about 8-9 yards, close to that 20 where they need to get for the first down. 20
Yeah,
seconds.
Gene Zen out there putting a lick on a few people.
Time for one more play without a timeout. Clock running at 10. This will be the last play from scrimmage. And unless there's a miracle, this could be the last play of the season.
You got to get her going here.
Yep. Here is the snap. Hand off to Reed. Reed breaks a tackle and slips and slides, bangles his way down to the 10-yard line, a gain of 12 yards, and that will close out this 2007 regular season. Jim, we don't know about what could happen with some of these ball games. There is that outside, although very slim, there is that outside chance for Liberty. But let's talk in the here and now, and that could have ended the Tigers season at 7-3 and about the middle of the pack. Let's see, finishing ahead of them will be Archbold. Well, that'll be the Tigers' third league loss. Archbold with 2 league losses, so about where the Tigers were projected, about 4th or 5th place. You know, you've got Patrick Henry.
Yeah.
Delta.
Wasion's up there.
Yeah, Wasion. Yeah. So, you know, at Liberty Center, where is the real Liberty Center football team for the year 2007? They started out, and we knew it might be an uphill battle, but it could be a good season. They went 3-0, gave Patrick Henry all they wanted before finally bowing with about just under 4 minutes to go when Patrick Henry finally took a lead that in the ball game. Oh my, Wasion, Patrick Henry leads by a touchdown now. Holy cow. Who'd have thunk it? And
Oh, yeah, and that's going to make it interesting because the experts that were saying the winner of this automatically goes to the playoff and the other person goes home, well, they weren't taking into consideration perhaps the upsets of this magnitude. You know, Wasion wasn't given any chance against Patrick Henry, nor was Tenora given much chance against the
Fairview
super
Apaches.
offense there of Fairview. So, yeah, there's some ifs, ands, and maybes and so forth that might work out for the Tigers. But, yeah, Spike, they were a pleasant surprise. You had followed them during their junior varsity, their JV years, and people picked them to be 5th or thereabouts in the league and says, no, they don't have enough experience. They're going to have to go with a lot of green sophomores. They started out and just got better, and admittedly the tough part of their season was stacked toward the end here. But I don't know, this Tiger team they played their hearts out, and maybe there was a couple of flat spots. And
with the league stack up the way it was, they certainly were a dark horse at best. But it's a matter of overcoming and achieving to the max. And Tigers had Delta right where they wanted them. But with some fluke calls,
they couldn't close it out in that first half, Spike. I mean, we'll give Delta credit for adjusting and really having a good half on the Tigers. But man, oh man, we fumbled on the goal line, which could have been a score quite easily. And then we threw a pick into their end zone when we had a first down deep in their red zone. And, there's a couple of things. And I don't know exactly where this Tiger team came out on the turnover balance. But we had our times, for instance, against Patrick Henry, we had a whole fistful of turnovers that kind of kept us positive in that game for a long time and almost pulled the incredible. But Henry's prevailed. This has been an excellent team, and they're going to miss the leadership of the seniors and a few of those guys that are sliding out the door. It's really going to have impact, but I think this team is expected to really make it happen next year, Spike.
Yeah. Well, as we look over our seniors quickly, as we wind down here, Tigers with their final cheer of the year, unless, of course, that miracle does happen. But number 3, Derek Hefflinger. Number 8, Chad McClory. Number 9, Jordan Burdew. Number 22, Tyler Armstrong. Number 27, Joe Bodenbender. Number 41, Jacob Perchlick. Number 58, Philip Miller. Great job on the offensive line. And, of course, number 88, Adam Quigley. Those guys will be missed. And, you look back on this season, and unless that miracle would happen, it's going to be a season where maybe sometimes you'll say, well, what could have been or what should have been. But, when two men go out to fight, in the Old West with the old 6-gun stuff, only one returns. And this time it just wasn't to be for Liberty Center.
Yeah, no question, no. Anybody that played on this football team, whether they were a regular or whether they just worked hard in practice, they become better citizens for having participated, Spike. And this has been a great program, this Tiger football program, and the boys learned. And part of the whole scheme of things is you got to learn to lose. I mean, it does happen.
Yep.
And anyway, 7-3 is.
Well, yeah, there you go. Second small school in the league. Liberty Center finishes at 7-3, and for the normal person, is that hey, maybe that's all you should expect or hope for. But that is what tradition makes at Liberty Center. That's what makes the school, is that they aren't satisfied at 7-3. Therefore, wait till next year, and these guys will be a year older with all this experience, and this can only be a stepping stone for them.
Yeah, all those sophomores that had to really play from the get-go here on this 07 campaign, Spike, man, they had to learn on the fly. And all of a sudden, guys that were having great success there early on were getting clobbered down the road a few games into it because they were just getting handled. You got to watch these guys. I think Adam not Adam, but Sharp. Alan Sharp.
Yeah, Alan Sharp.
He had a whale of a beginning to the season. I mean, he was just making it happen on offense and defense. And, of course, films get circulated a little bit, and they started seeing, well, these are the tendencies here and so forth. And they put some serious people on those guys. Well, like Irving here tonight, they kind of had a wet blanket on him on coverage. And that's sort of how it is. But that's the way this season rolled out, and they gave us a lot of thrills and chills.
Yep, you are correct there. So I think on that note, we'll wind it up here from Archbold High School. That final one more time, Archbold 35, Liberty Center 13. With that note, Tiger fans, it's good night and good Tiger sports.
Would you have thought it, Tom Fry?
Those guys are just, I mean, you don't.
Well, hey,
guy in motion, you give it to him next time.